steps now. We do have a couple people that have volunteered for a few items. But we'd like to move forward, obviously. Please step up.
Actually, and I might make myself unpopular with this, I actually do not, it would be my suggestion to not take volunteers and move forward to next steps tonight. It's already been mentioned that we are not all here. There are some very prominent voices within the community who couldn't make it tonight. I'd like to toss a suggestion. We've got an amazing asset in the Yahoo Metal Clay Board because so many of us are on it. If you're not already on it, would you, even if it's just for the purposes of following this organization, would you consider joining because it's the consummate, easily accessible, global, everybody can say what they need to say thing. Plus it's moderated so we can't go into attack mode at any point in time. But I might suggest before we take volunteers that we take what we've done so far and present it so that the members, especially those most active ones of the Metal Clay community who couldn't be with us tonight, have a chance to digest what we've done, interpret, respond, maybe even add, because it's quite possible even those in this room have forgotten something. And I think next steps would be something that we plan a deadline for and allow discussion on the board and ideas to be tossed before we even volunteer. Does that? Okay.
I'm Jackie Trudy. And for the purposes of this discussion, I'm a 10-year operating room nurse. But we've also been taping this. And I'm told that we can put this on YouTube. So instead of having to write and record and everything, we can make what we talked about tonight available. And it's the best way of getting this discussion to the people that need to hear it. Once everybody has heard it, and again, Katie's right, the Yahoo board is the one place where anybody can join and there's no fees or anything to get this information so we're all on the same page. Once we've given this out and we tell everybody and give a certain amount of time for people to watch this and be on the same page, then we can start talking about committees, surveys, data, organizational forms, things like that. Does that sound logical? Okay. All we need to do then is come up with a timeline. How much time, once this goes on YouTube, 6 months? I hear too long over here. I hear reasonable over here. 3 months. Negotiation. Split the difference. 3 months? Okay. What we can do is put this out there for 3 months, and then we can begin to think about what to move forward in terms of surveys. Does that sound right? Okay. Yes, step up.
I don't want to get in front of anybody, but it's related to what Jack was just saying. We've heard a couple people in the sessions refer to the fact that people learn differently, people absorb information differently. I love the idea of posting it on YouTube. I think also a written recap. I mean, I personally would not sit and watch an hour and a half of video of people standing up here. I would read a recap and absorb it a lot better. So.
Mary Dexino again. In terms of that, I was going to suggest a Google Docs outline because that's an online system where you can have multiple editors, true time editing, and it can be accessible to everyone. And you can make different people able to edit it. You can limit it. You can make anyone able to edit it. That might be a mistake. but as a place to record this stuff in a shorter form than YouTube. Or the equivalent of Google Docs.
One of the other things too is I know that a lot of you have blogs. I know that a lot of you have different places that you put information out there. This is the time that everybody talks about the same thing. Okay? This next few months or whatever it is, everybody on their blogs, their publications,
everyone that does anything with metal play, that puts it out there to the world, because you don't know who's watching it, and it could be somebody somewhere and who knows where, make sure that you put it out there on your publication. Send them to the Yahoo group so that they see what's going on. Also, YouTube only allows 10 minutes at a time, so this is going to have to be chopped up a little bit or set into a long thing. So if you're telling them to go to see it in YouTube, make sure you tell them to watch it from beginning to end, however size it is, okay? So that's very important. You need to make sure that they know that you're going to take, you can look at it in 10-minute increments and you'll be fine. But this will take a bit of time. It's going to be more than several parts, okay? So that's important to know, okay? But everybody should be blogging it, putting it out there.
So I want to respect the idea of we want to get volunteers from elsewhere, but there is housekeeping to do coming at this meeting. If we all just walk out of the room, nothing's going to happen. And we need some volunteers to do the housekeeping. Writing up all the notes. I don't know if someone volunteered earlier, Jackie had asked, okay. And then maybe posting them. I don't know how Google Docs works, if we want to do Google Docs, but however that works, someone needs to figure that out and put it out there. I don't know if somebody needs to edit the video so that it fits in YouTube. But there's some things just to get this next steps going out of this meeting, that if we don't have anybody volunteer, it's not going to happen. So, what's your name?
Gail Lanham.
Gail Lanham, for the writing up the notes. What about YouTube? I don't know. Tom's going to take care of YouTube. Is there anything else that we think is next steps out of this meeting just to get to the next step?
Look, the notes are written out. I could put them on Google Docs.
Google Docs, Mary Ellen.
I'm already a moderator of the Yahoo list, so I can
Thank you.
make the link there.
Thank you, Gail. Thank you, Tom.
We need to make this multi-language, multilingual. We're not, I mean, there are people that are interested that are not just English speakers.
I'm not capable of doing multilingual.
Can I have a show of hands, piggybacking on the multilingual request? Is there anyone here that happens to be bilingual in written form in addition to speaking form? Because that is different. I can hear, but I can't. Elizabeth, Spanish?
German and French.
German, French. Would it be enough to request, please, that when you see the notes online, if you would be so kind, if you do speak another language, to translate them and post them? Hopefully you won't be offended by the request, but the idea that they're already written in its strict translation, hopefully it means it's not horrible amounts of work. Mary Ellen?
Well, there's like online translation programs.
They kind of work and they kind of...
Right, that's why I'm saying, you do that and then the person who knows the language fixes it.
I think, would it be appropriate, do we think when these are posted to say if you have the ability to translate them, please do so, so that your area of the world can read them? And I think that would be something that people will do without having to be asked or told. Is that, am I too assumptive? So why don't we just make sure when we post this, we can literally incorporate something into the post that says, if you can translate this into another language, please do so, keeping the content accurate.
Yes.
And I think at that point, with the permission and the directive, perhaps people will hopefully do it. And then please post it where everybody can see it so we know it's been done and we don't have 7 people translating into Spanish because that's spinning somebody's wheels unnecessarily. Okay.
If we have volunteers to translate, can we get your names now? Elizabeth Gilmonte? Del Monte. Name, please? Cannot hear you. PRNA? Okay, 1 second. 1 second, 1 second. Verna, okay, 1 second. We're still getting the first one. V-E-R-N-A?
E-R-N-A.
E-R-N-A, no V. Please come up here. Just tell her how to spell it. So we're getting ready to wrap up. Is there anything anyone else would like to say? Please come forward.
Hi, my name is Adia Fong. I'm from San Jose, California. This is just a suggestion in regards to the formation of whether it is a council or a board of directors, is to also consider having maybe one or two other people from a business community setting. Someone who may not be familiar with metal play, with artists, because they may have a completely different viewpoint and see something from a business standpoint. Because in the end, this basically needs to be run like a business. Well, we're going to go ahead and wrap up at this point. I want to thank everybody for coming, for participating, and providing support. We're going to be, providing the flip charts to those that volunteer to get this written up, and we'll get the video and everything out. I'm sure that'll get out pretty soon, and we'll move forward with this. But I think we've made some good progress today, come together with some ideas that maybe hadn't been discussed on beyond the group, but sounds like it's a good movement forward. Okay. Well, and thank you again very much for both of you.